Welcome back to International Scale Modeler. I'm Lee. On April's new show, we've got quite a lot coming up. First of all, I want to start with an apology, just to say sorry that we didn't get many videos up last month, or the beginning of the month anyway, mainly because I had a hard drive crash on my Mac, unfortunately. I had to wait a couple of weeks for it to get fixed. Luckily, I had everything backed up because everything was backed up. So we didn't lose anything. The videos were still there, we just couldn't process them and get them up to the site. But they're all up there now, apart from the reviews. Obviously we've got the 3 reviews from these 3 kits from the 100 Years of Bombers GB, and those will definitely be going up this month, so I do apologise about that. We're going to be back with a vengeance this month, so yeah, there'll be lots and lots of videos this month. So anyway, on to tonight's show. We've got coming up, we've got the usual ISM forum update, the SiGs, the GBs, everything like that, the competitions, the prizes. We've got 2 new SiGs that start this month, which is the Easter egg plane SiG build, which is a bit of a fun one, and then we've got the Night Fighter SiG starting as well. We've also got 1 finishing. We've also got what model reviews will be coming up for this month again. It'll probably be the same list as what we had last month because we didn't get many up last month. There's mine and Paul's obviously current build update as well. We've got the prize draw winners announced, the free monthly prize draw. We've got a new sponsor announcement for the monthly prize draws as well, which is quite exciting. Obviously we've got the news report, the cheese will be there. We've got some reviews coming up. We've got a couple of reviews this month. One's from me, we've got a Zoukei-Mura paintbrush review. These things I picked up at Telford and they're absolutely brilliant. I love them. And Paul's going to do a review on the H&S Ultra, Hardware Steenbeck Ultra as well. So that's all coming up. So first of all, I think before we go any further, it's time for the news report.
Welcome to ISM News Report. I am Cohen the Croc. On today's news report, we're going to show you some aeroplanes and some tanks that make noises like I do. Really. Okay, so on with the news. First of all, from Edward, we have this lovely 172 limited edition BF110C6. Perfect for the upcoming Night Fighter SiG. As you can see, it will fit in absolutely perfect. Now, and they also are bringing out a 148 P39 LN, this one here, right here, there. And so that's Edward. Also, Italeri has announced a new tall Short Sunderland Mark 3. 1, 2, 3. See? 3. It's a very nice looking picture. It looks like a nice model, and it should make a great addition to anyone's shelf. So, next we go on to Revell. Have released a 132 Hawker Hunter FGA 9 F58. Now, there's a lot of numbers, I know, but it looks like a pretty splendiferous kit. As you can see. I think Lee, yes, this man down here, is going to want to get that one because he loves Cold War jets. Don't you, Lee? Yes. Hello. Can't pick him up. He's too heavy. He's too big. Oh well, never mind. And on a bit of a different one, Revell have also announced bringing out a 1-144 Space Shuttle launch tower. Now that to me looks like another great temptation. Great, I say. Great. Look at it. Look at that thing. It goes... What a fire coming out. It looks brilliant. Just like me. Okay, so now we're just going to have a look at... There's a new release from a kit company called Takom. Okay, now Takom have brought out a new, or announced that they're bringing out a 135 Leopard 1A5/C2. Now to me, that looks like good. It's also a 2-in-1 kit. 2-in-1, that's 2 kits in 1. 2 goes into 1. No, 1 goes into 2 too. Oh well. Anyway, it's going to come out in the future sometime soon. Now, I'm just going to pass you over to my colleague, Larry the Lion Raw. Hello, it's me, Larry the Lion. Well, it could be a tiger actually. Maybe I'm Terry the Tiger. Rah! Yes, I'm a tiger. Definitely a tiger. Rah! Right, on to the shows for April 2014. Here we go. On the 5th, there is Welling 2014 at the Falconwood Community Centre in Welling. On the 6th, there's a Shropshire Scale Model Show at RAF Cosford. Now this is definitely one you will want to go to, because there's a museum there as well, and it is absolutely excellent. A really good museum, so you can make a real day of it. Okay, on the 12th we have the annual show at Parkstone Grammar School in Poole. We also have on the 12th the Plymouth Model Show at Plymouth Guildhall, and also on the 12th we have the Sword and Lance 2014 at Darlington College. On the 13th we have the Remy Museum show at the Remy Museum Museum of Technology at Arborfield. This is definitely another one that should be going because there's a museum there as well, and the REME are a great bunch of lads for sure. Rah, to you guys. On the 26th and the 27th we have the Scottish National at Dewar Centre in Perth in Bonnie, Scotland. A must for all those north of the border. Get your butts up there. On the 26th we have the BMSS annual show at Holiday Inn in Coram Street, London. Big old London. On the 27th we have Modelcraft 2014 at the Stantonbury Leisure Centre in Milton Keynes for the Southerners. Yes, for you guys, you. And as you can see, there's quite a few there for this month, and there's a load more for May as well. There's a busy time on the show circuit ahead now. So from me, Terry the Tiger, it's au revoir, bon voyage, and see you later. Rah!
Well, I hope you like the new show this month. It's definitely different for sure. We'll see what's going to happen next month. But as you can see, there's lots of shows coming up in April and May, and pretty much for the whole summer season now. So it's going to be quite a hard choice picking which shows you want to do and everything like that. But plenty out there to take choose from, and I'm hoping we're going to get to a few this month. We shall see. But anyway, we're going to go over to Paul now, and we're going to have a look at his review of the Harder & Steenbeck Ultra, which is kind of like the main contender for the Neo for Iwata, which we've done a versus review of, which you can see on the YouTube channel as well. But here you go, here's Paul.
Hi guys, Paul International Scale Modeler. So today we've got a review of the Harder Steenbeck Ultra. I did a comparison video about 2-3 weeks ago comparing this to the Neo. We just went through some of the features, comparing the different specifications of the Airbrush, etc. Today we're just going to do a quick overview of the Ultra spray test like I did for the Infinity last month, and we'll go from there. So I got this from aircraft.net from Martin. Superb service. I really can't recommend them enough. Probably the best prices on the net in the UK I can find for airbrush and stuff, and everything's just posted and the service is flawless, so I really cannot speak highly enough of them. So I've got the Ultra, and I bought this to replace my Neo, which I'd had for a while, like I said in the comparison video, but what I'd heard and what I'd seen about this, it looked a better airbrush. I thought I'll buy one, give it a go. As soon as I got it and tried it, I thought, right, the Neo's gone and this has replaced it. I've had this now for about 3 weeks. I've just been using it for clear coats, and I've been using it with a 0.4 needle, which I'll get to in a minute. So today we're going to be using the 0.2, so we can compare it to the Neo. Now you get your cardboard outer sleeve with your instruction book, which I went through quickly last time. So it's just basic instructions. I'm doing this today because we did the Neo one a couple of months ago, so basically this is the same version. The problem with the Neo was I couldn't spray it because 2 seconds before I started filming I managed to shear off the the needle nozzle, which is the main reason I've got rid of it. So that's my reason for buying this. Was just basic overview, the guarantee, exploded diagram, guarantee, problems, troubleshooting obviously, cleaning. I'm going back to front, but it doesn't matter. Cleaning, first exercise, so getting thin lines, dots, patterns, etc. Through to commissioning, to starting up, connect to your air supply. So it's quite a good instruction book, better than the Neos, which is just a sheet of paper basically. Through to the front page, which just gives you correct use and safety instructions. You know, don't be spraying yourself in the face, don't be tagging graffiti everywhere with it, etc. You'd have a job doing that, to be honest, dragging a compressor around with it, but never mind. So it's an instruction book. Now, I bought the 2-in-1, which is £80 from aircraft.net. To make it more fair to the Neo, I'm going to review it as the 0.2, and that's £60. So this is what you get in the 2-in-1. So you get the airbrush itself, a 2mm colour cup, quick release, 2mm needle set as standard. You get the 5mm colour cup and the 4mm needle nozzle set as well. So you get all that for £80. What I've also added as well, if you can see, is the pinch tip, which is the same as the Infinities one, so that just allows easy cleaning. And I bought this to use with clear coats, washers, and that's why I wanted the 0.4 needle. I thought I'll buy the whole 2-in-1 because all these parts, the needle nozzle, the front adapter, they're all interchangeable with the Infinity and Evolution, so that made sense. I've got a spare needle nozzle, but I've only been using it with this in, the 0.4 needle. I haven't used it at all, so you are going to get an honest review today of what I think of it with the 0.2 in. So like I said, I bought this set, that cost £80, but to make it more fair for the Neo review, I'm going to take these out and we're going to review it. I just pop these to one side. We're going to review it as is. This is what you get for £60. So you get the box, which is better than the Neos. It's a plastic storage case, quite well made. Obviously you've got your cutouts inside for it as well, so you've always got somewhere to store it if you're that way inclined. I'm not. Mine all live in a airbrush holder to my right, if you've seen it. You get the standard nickel finished airbrush. You get quick release of standard, which you don't get on the Neo. You get the 0.2mm needle set, which you don't on the Neo again. It's a 0.3 or 0.35. Can't remember exactly which one it is now. And you get the 2mm colour cup. Now, like I said, the needle nozzle set, which is that, the nozzle itself, the nozzle holder and the needle, they're all interchangeable with the Evolution, the Infinity, that's about it really. So if you've got this airbrush already, it's great because you can interchange parts. So if you damage one or you need to replace one, you can just swap and change in the meantime. And also spares are really easy to get hold of, which is great. They're not overpriced. I think a needle nozzle for this is about £9. For the Neo it was like 15. It might have been more than that actually. So maintenance is going to cost you a bit more on the Neo. Out of the box, one criticism, if you look at the likes of the Infinity, there's finger grooves on the trigger. On this there's not, and obviously I'm a bit spoiled by the Infinities I've got, and you do find your finger slipping a little bit, but it's a very minor point. It's not the end of the world at the end of the day. And like I say, I haven't sprayed this once with the 0.2mm needle at all, so I'm really interested to see how it compares up against the likes of the Evolution Infinity, because it's £60, it's £35 cheaper than any Evolution you can get, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the Infinity. So this, you know, as a starter airbrush, should be hopefully a very, very good starting point for everybody who needs one. So we're going to do same test we did last time. So we've got a bit of Mr. Hobby H2. It's an old bottle, you'll have to excuse me, it's been well used, which is just a black. We're going to spray it, and we're just going to see how it sprays as a wide pattern, as a fine pattern. Can we do nice fine lines with it? Basically what I did with the Infinity, I couldn't do it with the Neo, but I know for a fact with the 0.35 needle I could never spray really nice thin lines of it, so that's by the by. Quick release, standard harder Steenbeck connection. We're at 25 psi, as we always are, and the airbrush is spotlessly clean, so we shouldn't get any problems at all. The 2mm colour cup, which I'm not a fan of, because if you watch me spray with the 5mm, I spill paint out of that thing all the time, so I'm bound to spill some today out of this. But we'll see. Like I say, to compare it to the price of the Neo, I want to compare it out of the box as it would be for the £60. Let me grab some tissue without destroying the place. Oh, there we go, too late. So we've got about half a mil of paint in there and a little bit of UMP thinner. So we get about a 50-50 mix. Pop the lid back on my paint. what we'll do, we'll just do the same spray pattern. So we'll see what it does as a Y pattern. We'll see how it does doing nice thin lines, you know. Can we do the same kind of fine line that I've been able to achieve with the Infinity and Evo? And how does it compare overall? So like I say, we're at 25 psi. Just going to mix my paint. So we're around about a 50 mix. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I'm just going to pull it through. Here we go. So I'm going to leave the booth off. We don't need it on. Enough for spraying these parts into the paper. So as a Y pattern, so if you're buying this to, you know, do an overall model, what does this spray like? Well, no problems there. Certainly going to cover your model well there. Not a problem at all. Thin lines. So like I say, first time ever using this, so we'll see what we can achieve. As you can see there, no problem there. Can I write my name? Of course I can. Excellent. A little bit off camera, but never mind. We'll do it up here. So no problem with control. Obviously, it hasn't got quite the same finesse as the Evolution or the Infinity, but it's nowhere near the price. And as a budget airbrush, you're not going to go wrong at all. It can do nice thin lines. Try and play noughts and crosses like I did last time. Now, it's done it. It's not quite the finesse of the Infinity. Maybe if I take my time, it is. It's a new airbrush to me. So I'll pop a new piece on. I'll take my time this time. I'll get a little bit closer. A little bit more purposeful. So not really paying any attention to the size of lines. We've got thinner to thicker there. So let's see if we can get some nice, neat circles, which we can. Crosses. Oh, I'm with one. I actually won today. Did well. So there you go. So you take your time. You know, you rush it, you get those. You take your time. You can get very thin. So we do see how thin a line we can get. In fact, we'll do thicker, working our way down. So you can achieve nice thin lines, nice broad lines, and then your full size spray. So it will do a multitude of jobs. You got the big coverage like over here. It's a nice, see how fine I can actually get it. Nice fine lines like so. You can write your name, no problem. So there is control there. Now it's definitely not got the same kind of finesse as the Infinity, I'll admit that, but there's £100 difference between it. The Infinity is superb, it's well worth the money if you can afford it. If you're after a starter airbrush, you are not going to go wrong with this at all. It's going to do everything you need. It's just, how can I put it, it's just not as easy an airbrush to use as the Infinity. It's not as well polished. It takes a bit more work out of you to achieve the best. Because I could normally just bat these out with an Infinity or an Evolution. I've really got to concentrate, and it just takes that little bit slight trigger pressure, and it does that, and it goes slightly wider. So although it will do it, it's going to take a lot more control from you to get the best out of the brush, which is nothing wrong with that. It's going to teach you to airbrush really well. But if you're pre-shading, I know it's not the most realistic thing in the world to test on a bit of paper, but it's good for practicing. If you're pre-shading, you know, you can get very, very fine lines. Come back out a little bit, you can get thicker. Circles, no problems you've seen on the noughts and crosses. But I've got to be very conscious of that trigger. The slightest mistake, and it does bite your back a little bit. But for 60 quid, can't go wrong at all. Is it better than the, I think we're out of paint there, yeah we are. Is it better than the Neo? Personally, for £15 extra, I'd say yeah, all day long. You're basically getting the same spec airbrush, you're getting the smaller needle which will allow for a bit more precise work, but the 2mm needle, as you can see by that there, still allows good coverage. I use a 0.2mm needle for everything. I just sprayed a 132 f16 in it, and I've got no qualms in covering it at all. Both my infinities, a 0.2mm needle, one for acrylic, one for metallizers and alkalides and etc. And I never ever think, oh, I wish I had the bigger needle set. I had an Evolution 2-in-1 and I never ever once used a 0.4mm needle. I'm just going to clean this while I'm talking to you guys. Never once used it and I sold it totally unused. The only time I used a 0.4mm needle is for clear coats because I think they spray a little bit better personally, but they still spray well at 0.2, and more importantly for spraying our UMP washes, because of the pigment size in the washes, the particle sizes, they do need a larger needle. They still spray for a 0.2, but they spray a lot better for a bigger one. So that's my main reason for buying this. So like I say, first time using the 0.2mm needle in this, and if you're after a starter airbrush for £60, you're not going to go wrong with this at all. The only thing I would add to it is the pinch tip, because the likes of now where I've just cleaned that out, I like to grab the nozzle and backflow it, and you're not going to be able to do it very easy with this at all. It's a case of trying to be a, you know, 4 hands everywhere kind of thing, and it's impossible to do. So you're just left with cleaning the airbrush out the traditional way, which is filling it up with airbrush cleaner, blowing it out, repeat, etc. Whereas with a bit of backflowing, you can clean it out a lot quicker. So the only thing I would add for £18, I know it's quite dear, is the whole new, you basically get the whole new front needle section here with a 2-pronged easy clean, and myself I'd also add the larger colour cup, which are not dear, they're about £5. You know, you don't have to add this straight away, you can buy a starter airbrush, upgrade it as you go, and go from there. But for me, I've been recommending the Neo for a long time, and for £45, if that's what you want, you're not going to get a bad airbrush. It's still going to do the job, just a little bit more delicate, and hasn't got quite the preciseness of this one. If you can afford £60, I'd say go and buy an Ultra all day long. Big fan of Harder Steenbeck, I've been for a number of years. Everyone recommended them to, everyone that's bought them has said they're fantastic, they don't regret buying it. Even Lee, who loved his Badger Chrome, said no, won't get any better than this. And he sold his Badger Chrome now and bought an Infinity, and he loves the Infinity. So it just shows you, you know, they're a quality product. This is their bottom end airbrush, and it's absolutely superb. So if you're looking for a starter airbrush, £60, go and get yourself one of these. If you can't quite stretch to 60, go and buy a Neo. You're not going to go wrong with either, but in my opinion, this is the better brush. It'll do all the jobs you need, from coverage, thin lines, writing your name, playing games if you're that way inclined. It's going to do everything flawlessly for you. And like I say, spares are easy to find, they're interchangeable with different airbrushes, and that's it really. So my review of the Harder Steenbeck Ultra, superb. I'm going to put my 0.4mm needle in here now and go and clear cut my F16, and that's it. So thanks for watching, hope you like that review. I'll catch you guys on the forum.
Well, thanks for that, Paul. I think I would actually prefer one of those over the Neo for oil water. I've got a Neo for oil water. It's a bit of a pain to clean. The H&S Ultra seems a lot easier. I've just recently bought the Infinity, and that's a joy to clean. So I think I might invest in an Ultra and then just use the Neo for clear coats and things like that. But thanks a lot, Paul. Great review, mate. So now we're just going to go on to the GBs and SiGs, the group builds and special interest group builds. First of all, we're just going to say that we've got a new one start. Well, we've got 2 starts this month. The first one is obviously the Easter egg plane SiG, which started on the 1st of this month, and that runs until the 31st, so just 4 weeks. There are lots of rules on there, but the only one you need to take care of is you must have fun. It's a good fun build that lasts 4 weeks. These little egg planes are great fun, and as you can see, they really are just a break from the norm. If you're quite serious about your modelling, they're great just to have a little break for a couple of weeks and build them. And there's quite a few entries already underway, and you can imagine the amount of puns and jokes revolving around eggs for it. And yes, very, very good. Now obviously this SiG is sponsored by Retro Kit, Dominique at Retro Kit. Thank you very much, mate. Now Retro Kit is a great site. It's retrokitonline.net. I said .com last month, I do apologise. And they do loads of resin goodies and things like that, aftermarket stuff for tanks, extra packages. They do lots of little sci-fi models. They do these minions as well. They're brilliant. I've got a couple of these. Paul's done one of these as well. They're excellent, great little models. And so it's a great little site. Dominiqu's a smashing bloke, very, very helpful as well. So if you've got any questions at all, just hit him up and he'll get back to you straight away. But first, second and third prize, that first prize is €30. to spend on his site, which is excellent. Second prize is €20 and third prize is €10. So with all of those prizes, you're going to get a lot of goodies. And I want the snow speeder here that's on their site. I really want that. It really was a nice kit that we saw at Telford. So thanks again, Dominic, for your support on this group build. Those prizes are definitely worth having for a very short group build. They're awesome. So thanks a lot again for Retro Kit. We've also got, starting on the 18th, I think it's the 18th, let me just check. Yes, the 18th of April, we've got the Night Fighter SiG. Again, looking like an interesting one. Now, the rules on that are going to be, basically, if it's a night fighter, all weather fighters are not going to be included. So your main subjects are going to be World War II and just after, that sort of period, really, for dedicated night fighters. A lot of confusion. Really, if you can get a decal set and a paint scheme that matches a night fighter that was in service, excellent. If it says night fighter on the box, you're in, you know, no problem at all or anything like that. Any problems at all, obviously ask Ben the Guppy on the site and he'll clarify for you whether it be you'll be able to enter it or not. But it looks like quite a few people up for that one as well. And that goes on for 3 months. That goes on to the 11th of July, so you've plenty of time on that one. As I say, all the other rules are the same for the previous ones and all the other SiGs for ISM, mainly to have fun again. The other ones we've got going at the moment are, we've got obviously the Steel Rain SiG. Now the Steel Rain SiG has only got 1 week left to go, so all those guys that are just straggling behind, you need to, you know, make a press on and get over that finish line. I think probably nearly half of you have finished so far. Some cracking builds in there, really good ones. So it'll be interesting to judge that one as well. Really looking forward to the end and all the reveals on that one. And obviously we'll have a reveal show. So that finishes on the 11th of April. So you've got literally just over a week to get those done. So come on, guys. Obviously it's sponsored by S&M stuff. And the prizes are, first prize is the MIG Urban Condat pigment set. Second prize is the Norman Knights figures, and the third prize is a bottle of our airbrush thinner and cleaner. So definitely worth going. The other GB, main GB at the moment, going is 100 Years of Bombers. That runs for another 5 weeks, I think it is, until the 16th of May. And that's going good. Obviously that's sponsored by Models Are Go. We've got the 3 prizes there, which is the Centenarians Eduard limited edition, which is now out of production. We've got second prize is the Dawn You Do from Italieri, and the third prize is the Beechcraft Staggerwing, which is a nice looking kit, I've got to say. Thank you to John at Models Are Go for all those prizes. Now we had finished in March. We had the long-term, non-military, long-term figure group builds finish. We had some cracking entries into that, some great finishes as well. It was really hard deciding the winners on that. But we had, first place was Rob with his Fawn, which was an excellent build in itself, but he also did 2, and this is a Bill Sykes. They both worthy of a first place, so we gave Rob an extra first prize praise because he should have had first and second really, but we didn't want to. We wanted to give someone else a chance as well. In second place was Cohen with this, Cohen Campbell. Excellent effort. Cohen had done his first go at tartan and tattoos and all sorts of things. Really great little vignette. I thought it was brilliant. And the tartan was actually his family's tartan, which was really good as well. It was really nice to see. Third place went to Hamilcar Barkas for his Roman Gladiator. Again, excellent build. And all these winners were all really good threads, top-notch threads with lots of info, techniques, hints and tips and things like that to help people along the way. And that's the sort of builds we want for our GBs and SiGs. Now, if you're not sure about what GBs and SiGs you want to enter on the site, they're all on there on this chart. You can download this from the site. This is in the GB section. You can just download. It's a calendar of all the GBs and SiGs that happen throughout the year. So if there's one you really like and you want to take part in, you can work out your other builds around it and things like that. Also, we've had a few questions about people asking where their threads are, their GB and SiG threads and reveal threads and things like that. They're all in the GB SiG archive. Now if you're in the group builder and SiG thread section of the forum, right down the bottom you'll see GB and SiG archive. Every single one's in there, nothing's been deleted, nothing's been taken away. So if you had a build thread and you want to carry it on because you didn't finish it in time on the GB or SiG, just shoot me or Paul a PM and we'll move it into the main work in process threads areas as well. But they're all there, they're not gone. So if anyone wants to have a look at the old GBs and SiGs, there you go, that's where to find them. Okay, so now that's all the GBs and SiGs done. So I'm going to show you a quick review of these Zoukei-Mura paintbrushes, which are very hard to get hold of in the UK, but I think they're absolute dog's dangly bits. So here you go. Welcome back to ISM. I'm Lee. I'm just going to do a quick review on the Zoukei-Mura special brush. Now, a lot of you probably haven't heard of these brushes. They are quite hard to find. There's only one seller in the UK around at the moment, and they're even hard to get from abroad as well. If you search Zoukei-Mura brushes, you come up with facial brushes and things like that, which is a bit strange. But I bought these from a seller in Telford, and I believe, if I remember right, it's RB Productions that sell them, or it's MDC Construction. I'll confirm that on the bottom when I do the price for these. But they are the only place in the country that sells them. I think they were £4.99 each, and they cost me, I think it's 15 quid for 4 while I was at Telford, or 20 quid, I can't remember. But anyway, and I took a punt on them because I've had so many problems with brushes that I have gone through, I would probably say 30 paintbrushes looking for a decent brush. Now the problem I've got is, if you can go onto the overhead here, I've got these. These are Kolinsky, red Kolinsky sable brushes, and you can see how they're stored lying flat in an old cigar case, so they don't touch the sides or anything like that. But you can see how the head's spread and they haven't kept their shape or anything like that. One of my favourite brushes up until now has been this Stylex modelling brush, which you can only get from America. Now these are about 3 or 4 quid off of eBay, but they really do hold their shape, and they're really good for getting in those intricate places. And they're a size 0, which is pretty much perfect for any modelling purposes really. And I bought about 3 or 4 of these, but they're not very well made. As you can see from that, it's not round or straight or anything like that, and they're all like that. But they are quite nice little brushes to use, I must say. But these Kolinsky brushes, now these weren't cheap. These are Creative Model ones. I bought these from, I can't remember where for the life of me, but they were like £26 for a set of 10. So they weren't cheap by any standards. They feel nice, but they're just, you know, they've all lost their shape. And to be honest with you, there's loose hairs and things like that, so I'm not overly impressed with those at all. I know a lot of people recommend using Winsor & Newton, and their Series 7. I might try and get those, but for the moment I don't need to, because I have these babies. Now they only come in 4 sizes, unfortunately, which is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and they come in these nice little packets, as you can see, and they're proper sealed packets, and literally you just pull them open. I say literally, there you go, like that, and out pops your brush. Now, as I say, you can get these, I'm sure, from abroad, but you can only get them from one place in the UK. Now, as you can see how they come, you can see the shape of that tip. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, these are actually, the handles are wooden. I don't know what kind of wood. I don't know if it's bamboo or not. It could well be, but they are so comfortable to hold. I've never had a brush so comfortable. Now I have these brushes as well. I've bought a set of these, you know, these eBay specials, and you get expensive ones of these where, you know, with this triangular shape down the shaft, you think, oh, that's really handy, and they are comfortable to hold. But I'm telling you now, there is nothing more comfortable than that. Now it actually looks like a pen. I'm not so sure if I've got a pen handy. There you go. Look a bit, you see, it's very same shape as a pen, and I've got to say, it's just so natural holding it. You can actually hold it like a pen instead of a paintbrush. You can actually hold it like a pen, and it's really good. I would imagine they use these for calligraphy and things like that as well. But as I say, it's a shame they only come in the 4 sizes really. The smallest one, which is the 01. Okay, that, to be honest with you, because it keeps its point so well, is good enough for, I've used this on everything, the smallest of small detail that normally I would use like a treble 0 for or something like that. I've used this, and I've had no qualms whatsoever. They clean up brilliantly. They are synthetic, they're not sable. They are synthetic, but they clean up so well. They're so well made. I mean, this, I don't know what this is called, this part here, but you can see where I've accidentally got paint right up to the ring there. But you don't have to shape these after you finish them. You don't have to clean them with a brush cleaner or anything like that. They are pretty solid as they come out of the tip here, but once you get to the end, they're lovely and soft, but they are quite strong. As soon as these mess up, I will go and buy a load more, because they are absolutely fantastic. and I've used nothing but this and the number 4, I think it is, since I've bought them. I haven't even opened those two, as you've seen, but this and the number 4 is all I've used for all of my painting, and until I would suggest that you buy one and see if you like it, but it's so tactile, it's so comfortable to hold, that it's a joy to use. And I'm really, as you know from my reviews, I'm an experienced guy. I like to experience good things while I'm modelling, and the tools that I've got help me, you know, enjoy that experience, because the feel and the usage of tools are quite important with this, because it's quite an integral part of our hobby. So when I pick up something like this and I think, oh, that's really nice. I wish I was on commission for Zoukei-Mura, but you know, I'd never heard of them until the Telford show. You know, because you can hardly find any pictures of them, let alone find anywhere that sells them. But they are absolutely fantastic, and if you are looking for another brush, this is a massive all-rounder. It really is. And I'm sure there's those diehards amongst you that will say, oh no, well, it's not sable, it's got to be sable. If it's not sable, then it's rubbish and all that. Well, I say poo to you. Absolute poo. These are brilliant to use, and I love them. And believe it or not, they actually paint Tamiya quite well, which is quite unusual in itself. I've painted black Tamiya with that. I've used guns with them and everything, and they are much better than the sable brushes. You wouldn't think so because they're harder, but they are. But they are quite rigid. But I love them. As I say, I think they're great to hold, and I would suggest that someone go and buy maybe the number 1, which would be the one that you would use the most, or a number 2, and go and try them. Even you, Rob. Yes, even you, Rob, who is a master of the brush, should go and try these. That's my take on the Zoukei-Mura brush. There's no point me doing a painting demonstration for you, because I mean, it's all subjective really. But you will, if you get one of these, I'm telling you now, you will not regret it. I really like them. So anyway, that is the Zoukei-Mura special brush, and they're about $4.99 each, and they are massive thumbs up from me, and well worth a buy. Thanks a lot. See you later. Okay, well, as you can see, I really like those brushes. I think they're better than the sable brushes I've got, and I've got Winsor & Newton sable brushes as well, Kolinsky brushes and everything. I like them. You can only get them from one place in the UK, but they're definitely worth a go if you like those sort of things. I love the way that they keep their shape. So anyway, we're just going to quickly, before we go on to the winners of the monthly prize draw and everything, we're just going to go on to about the kit review section. We've got 350 reviews in there now. It's brilliant. Thank you for everyone who's contributed to that part of the forum. It really is nice to see, and keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. Really good effort. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so now we're going to go on to, if I can find my place, that is, monthly prize draw winners. Right, okay, so the monthly prize draw winners. First place is the Trumpeter 135 T64 Mod 1981. This is a bit of an aging trumpeter kit now, but it's a very good kit apparently. I mean, they do a lot of the T64s and things like that. But this is a good kit to have in your stash. And the winner of the Trumpeter 135 Russian T64 Mod 1981 is Hobby Modeler. Well done, Hobby Modeler. I think he's one of our younger members. But well done, mate. If you let me have your address on the site, that'll be on its way to you as soon as possible. Okay, and the winner of the UMP full set of Ultimate washes is Phil the Fish. Well done, Phil. So Phil, if you let us have your address, mate, we'll get these washes off in the post here. Hopefully you'll make good use of them with your excellent little builds that you keep doing. So, well done, guys. Well done on the winners for those. This month we've got some excellent prizes. We've got this, which is the Hobby Boss 148 A6A Intruder, and our new monthly prize draws are going to be sponsored by Value Kits. Value Kits haven't got a logo yet, they're working on it, but they're mainly a Facebook selling group at the moment, but they are producing their own website apparently as we speak, and they're going to get us all the governors and things like that. But you can find, they have their own section, our trader section on ISM. You really should go and check them out, because their kits are probably the cheapest around that you will find. You won't find them cheaper anywhere else. I mean, there's some phenomenal prices, they really are. Really can't fault them at all, and the service is excellent. Right, the other prize that we've got this month as well is the full set of Ultimate Modeler Sanders, the Thinny Sticks and Thinny Sponges. So you get one of each thing, feather Thinny Sponges and a multi-pack as well. So loads to keep you busy for a long time there. So great set for all you got to do is go onto the ISM, go onto the competition threads, look at the free monthly prize giveaway, just type on there anything you want and we'll get that sorted for you. Right, competition's coming up in April. Now obviously we've got the free monthly prize draw and all the SiGs and GBs that are going to be finishing as well. Now this month we are definitely going to do the caption competition for Alex the Blues compressor and airbrush, which we've been saying we're going to do for the last couple of months, but obviously it was going to be done last month because my computer crashed. I couldn't get hold of the photo for the caption competition and everything. So definitely this month that competition will be on. So if you fancy a compressor and airbrush, look out for that one. Seriously, it's going to be done this month, okay? Right, and a big thanks to Alex obviously for donating that. So I think I've said that about 3 times now in every show. So but anyway, next we're going to go over to my builds and see what's happening on my bench at the moment. Right, welcome back to my builds. I actually have something to show you guys this month and there are no aliens in sight. So hopefully we'll be able to get this sorted and done and dusted. First off, what I'll do is I will do my javelin. Now as you can see, let's pop it out the other way. I've finally got the top coat on. It's all taped up at the moment, but as you can see there, okay. I've gone for quite a faded effect. Let's have a look. I won't get it all in on the overhead, but you can have a good idea of what I've done. Gone for I've hand sprayed that. Obviously base down, put the base down, then the grey first, and then the green on last. And I think that's come out quite well indeed. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. And on the underneath, it's all ready for, as you can see. It's all ready for the silver coat, which I'll show you about how that comes out in a minute. But you can, as you can see on here, look, I've just got a few scratches here and here, and this is basically which I've just got to touch up. I'm going to do that with the brush, but I've got to touch that up before I do the spraying. That was just where I tried it on a new stand. I tried it on this Tamiya stand and then forgot to put the sellotape on the thing, so it scratched the paint, and it was really a real blonde moment, really blonde moment. As you can see, it's now got tape on, so it's fine, but I don't trust it now, so I'm going to do it on the sponge like I normally do. But yeah, so I'm really chuffed with the way that's coming now. That's nearly done there. I've also got a box of bits for it, which I can show you on the overhead. Now I've painted, weathered and everything. I've just got to put the matte coat on these. As you can see here, they've had a gloss coat, they've been painted, so you've got the nice divide, and these are the ones where, if you remember, the bottoms were an absolute, well, basically it was the same as the top, but I filled it in and everything. They came out really well, really impressed with that. They've had a wash on there, as you can see, in the panel lines and everything, and both ready to go, and you can just see the fading and everything there. So they're ready to go now, so they're all done. They've just got to have a matte coat over the top, just to seal all that in. I've then got the rockets again, as you can see. Let me just grab my, yeah, so you can have a look. Okay, I'm going to put a bit of glare here. It's showing up as glare on my thing, but I think you'd probably be okay. But as you can see, weathered them a bit, given them a bit. They've got to have a matte coat over the top as well. Although, if I remember rightly, these were a satiny colour, so I'm going to maybe go over those with a satin, see how it looks, and then if I don't like it, then I shall go over with a matte. But as you can see, both, they won't be too dirty, obviously, because they're pretty new. They come out of storage, get put on the plane, and off they go. So a few little touch-ups I've got to do there and there, but they're all done. Now the step ladder and the FOD covers came out exactly how I hoped they would. As you can see, let's get them out here for you. Now these came out exactly, this I used the hairspray method with the Burniston brush, and they've been matte coated, they're flat coated over the top now. They've been weathered and flat coated, and I'm really happy. Now I haven't put too much mud in them, there's just a little bit in the grills there and on the sides, because they wouldn't really be that dirty. And same with the FOD covers. All the FOD covers I've seen haven't been really that dirty, so there's just a little bit of grime on there just to make them a little bit more realistic. I've then got the wheels have all been done, and the struts, as you can see, they're all ready to go on, and they've been, I think I've just got to put one flat coat over there, one more flat coat over there. Again, I haven't made them too dirty, just a little bit here and there. You see inside the wheel spokes and everything, and the same on the legs. You can see they're not too dirty. There's a little bit of dirt in there, but not too much. So yes, so that's coming along rather nicely. I've done all the undersides. Basically, it's all done and dusted. All that in there is just got to have a flat coat, and then that's done. And I've got to put the silver coat on. And what I've done, what I've used on here, let's just get those out again just to show you. You can see the silver I've used on there is basically Citadel Runefang steel, which is the best, I think, scale silver you can get. Now these are, I wanted to outclad the bottom of this, but you can't, because apparently it wasn't aluminium, it was actually painted silver on the bottom of these aircraft. So I've gone for the same thing. This is painted silver, and that gives the best scale effect, I reckon, on other than any other silver out there. I've tried them all, and this is by far the best. So good tip for you there, guys. If you're ever going to do silver, get the Citadel. You can thin it. It's about 60% thinner. If you use 60% ultimate thinner with this, it's perfect. Sprays absolutely beautifully and really, really smooth as well. Perfect for Citadel. So that's all that done. We've then come on to my egg plane. Now the egg plane is coming on. Actually, this is just literally for our Easter egg plane build. I'm doing the F-22 Raptor, and as you can see, I've pretty much done the pilot. It's nice that they put the seam line for the pilot right down the middle of everything, so that's great. So, but that should come out nicely. Basically, all I've got to do, I've got to spray this up, which are the afterburners and everything. I've got to spray that up first before I put everything together. But everything's done, foiled, sanded, ready for priming. As you can see, it comes out. They're lovely, great little builds. As I say, it only took me, I think it was about half an hour to get it to that point, and literally I've just got to stick it together, and that'll take another 20 minutes, half an hour, and then that'll be completely done. But they're great little builds, and you've got a choice of, I think there's about 3 or 4 different schemes on there with the decals and everything. Also, obviously, I always dip my canopies in clear, and as you can see, that has turned out absolutely crystal, and it adds a really nice shine to it when you dip them in clear. It's the only thing I use clear for. I won't use it for decal polish or anything like that. But what I do is I dip it in there, you wick all the extra off onto this little bit of towel in there, and then I'll just leave it inside this sealed tin, so that it can't get any dust on it, because it really does settle on there. But that, absolutely beautiful. I mean, that's been done for 48 hours now, I think. And that's actually comes up really nice. Really adds another dimension to canopies, I think. You should always do that. So that's my Raptor, my big build at the moment, and that's pretty much it. Obviously, I've got the Canberra. It's I'll show it. It is all primed. Most of it's primed, ready to bits and bobs and things like that. But as you can see, it's all in one box, ready to go. All that stuff's got to be alclad. This stuff's non-alclad, so it's a different, I've used a different prime. I've used the AK primer on this, and I've got to say, it's really come out really smooth, really smooth. I've got the, obviously, alclad primer on there, which is a little bit rough. It's got to be just taken down a bit. And then I've got all the wings and the sections, everything in there, bay and cockpit, which has got to be done all down here as well. Again, that's been alclad, ready for a top coat of black, and then I'll use the burnishing brush on that as well. Yeah, as I say, the main problem I'm going to have with this is the fuselage. Let's just move this over here, and you can have a look on the overhead, which is where you can see here, you see where it goes in there. And now on the other one that I did on the PR9, you can put a bit of sprue in there, a bit of sprue, big thick chunky sprue in there, and keep that out. But where I'm having the Bombay open, there's a lot of flexibility in that, and you can see here where it just warps a bit. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, because it warps right in, look. So I'm not sure what to do about that. So recommendations on a card, that would be smashing, because the doors, the bay doors, as you can see here, these are going to have to sit on that somehow, like that. This is how they go, and as you can see, looks okay there, but once you get it into line, you think these have got to be open. It's like it's almost been deliberately not made not to be able to be opened. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to try and hide it. I might just warm it up a bit and just see if I can. But I mean, to get it you know, to stretch it out of that, it's going to take about a year. So I don't know. I've got to come up with something for that. What I should probably do is glue the fuselage together first, and then come up with a solution. I think that's going to be the easiest way once everything's solid and in place and ready to go. So that is my builds. Let me just move this out of the way. That's where I am at the moment. Hopefully by next month you will see a finished Javelin. I haven't finished anything since last time. No, I'm still scrabbling around for time at the moment, but I am trying to make myself a little bit, at least a couple of hours a week, just to get that. I really want to get that Javelin in my cabinet. Now I've got the top paint, now I've got the top colour on. It really does look the nuts, and it's a. You know, I know I've bemoaned some fit issues and everything, and yes, there are some fit issues, but there isn't a kit like this for this size anywhere. I'm a real sucker for British Cold War jets, as you guys know. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Airfix, but I've got the Airfix Lightning to do, the 148 Lightning to do next. I think it's Talaria bought out, is it a Talaria? Someone's just bought out a 132 Hawker Hunter. Now I really want a really good 142 Hawker Hunter. That would be absolutely smashing to add the collection. And then I've got a couple of others I want to get as well. I've obviously got the Canberras, I've got several Canberras to do as well. But I do love the British Cold War jets, I really do. It's just something about them for me. Call it island mentality or whatever. But anyway, so that's my builds this month. So we're going to go back to the show now, and thanks for watching. Right, there you go, there's my builds. As you can see, I'm hoping to get that Airfix Javelin done in the next week or two. It's going to be a monumental decking session on that, but I'm really looking forward to the fact that it's nearly done now. It's been on my bench for far too long. Also, obviously, we're going to do the Raptor, the egg plane one as well. That's nearly finished. I shall get that done, literally buttoned up, sprayed and everything in the next couple of days. I really enjoy building those. I think they're great fun. So now we're going to go over to Paul's section of the show, and we'll see what Paul's got going on and what's happening on his bench as well.
Okay, thanks Lee. So what have I got for you this month? We'll head over to the bench in a minute and we'll go through my current builds. Reviews I've got coming up. Lee may have already mentioned it, but eModels no longer sponsor our monthly prize draw from April onwards, so from April 1st onwards. Value Kits are sponsoring our monthly prize draw. Facebook page at the minute, so if you're looking for them, put Value Kits into Facebook, you'll find them, you'll find all their offers. They all work on our website, so that should be up and running very soon. Tim, very handy for me, lives literally 5 minutes away from me, so it's great for me to buy kits for him because I can just go pick them up, and he's very kindly agreed to sponsor us on the monthly prize draw, which is superb. The first kit we've got is probably the best kit we've ever given away. We've got Hobby Boss's 148 A68 Intruder. Awesome kit, it's £50 RRP kit, and I'll be reviewing this sometime this month. I've opened the box and it looks amazing. I'll have to pick one of these up for myself. So the thread will go up on the forum, should be up by the time the new show's up. So get your name down, say I'm in, whatever, and get your name down for this kit. Like I say, I'll review it through the month. And it's a cracking price, so thank you very much Tim, very much appreciated. Tim and Stu work on the Facebook page, so go and have a look on there. Excellent prices. If you want something, message Tim, see if he can get it for you, etc, etc. They've also got a section on ISM as well, a traders section, so any offers they have, they can put them on there as well. Well worth checking out because they have some absolute bargain deals, they really do. Every time I go around that, I come home with handful of kits. It is really bad for my wallet, really bad. So that's one of them, that's up due this month, and it's a prize, so somebody's going to win that. The other review is something I just got today, and I'm very excited about this. It's Dragon's new Black Label M103, the A1 Heavy Tank Destroyer. I've opened this up and it looks brilliant. The casting on the turret, phenomenal. The casting details underneath the hull, amazing. There's a bonus figure in mine, and it's one of the best Dragon figures I've ever seen, so I'll be reviewing this month, this as well. These aren't out in the UK until I believe May sometime. I got this from Hobbylink Japan, and it just looks fantastic, so really looking forward to reviewing this one. So that'll be up this month sometime too as well. The main news for me well, something about I've known about for a long time, but we've only just announced recently, is that myself and my partner Hannah are expecting our first child. I'll put a bigger picture of this up. He or she will be with us in September, around the 24th. We went for our 12-week scan about 3 weeks ago now, and everything looks fine, and we've got our 20-week scan obviously in about 4 or 5 weeks now. Hopefully we can find out the sex. We're over the moon, I'm especially. We're looking forward to being parents, I'm looking forward to being a dad, so absolutely brilliant. Obviously, I announced something for him a few weeks back, but obviously it's a new show, so I thought I'd do it in this as well. So very, very happy about that, and like I say, we're looking forward to being parents. So all the fun begins now. All the shopping, sorting the house out, because we've got to, where my old hobby room used to be is now the baby's room. Hence why I planned ahead and built this last year. There was a method in my madness of doing this. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be interesting. Just hope my modelling doesn't suffer too much. Fingers crossed it won't. And that's it. And that's it really, no more news from me. So we'll just head over to workbench and have a look at my current builds. Okay, on the bench, my current builds and one completed model this month, which is great. So we'll deal with the completed one first, which, as most of you may have seen, is the Airfix ME109 from our Techniques guide. Long time in the making, 13 parts over probably 8 months, covering all the basic techniques from cockpits, panel rescribing, pre-shading, airbrushing, you name it, we got it. So glad to get this out of the way. Not in a horrible sense, just taking a long time. It came out okay. Not the perfect model. It was never supposed to be a perfect model. It was just to show you guys how to do it. I've got 3 more of these behind me, almost exactly the same as this one. Just slight variances on them. So this was never a kit to think, right, let's get this as good as I could. It was just literally to show the techniques along the way. It turned out better than I thought. Quite happy with the paintwork, that turned out rather nice. Little bit of weathering on the paint. First time in a World War II aircraft, I've done a bit of fading and whatnot on there. The mottling turned out well on the side, you can barely see a bit better there. We should use a darker colour, but it did call out for that colour in the instructions, but never mind. But no, it came out well. I'm glad it's done. Move on to different things, which is obviously the Great Wall Hobby F15. Later on in the year, I'll come back and I'll probably do an armour series on it. Similar thing, using modern day armour piece. I'm not sure which one yet, but I'll figure something out. And we'll cover all the base techniques. Again, I'm not an expert, I can just show you my way of doing it. And people have found these really helpful, so I'll be grateful to do it again for that as well, so that's not a problem at all. So there's one out of the way. I'm very happy to get that finished at last, finally. Second one is my Tamiya 132 F16. Doesn't quite fit in shot, unfortunately. A lot of paintwork done to it, a lot of fading, pre-shading. It'd be good to do it for a camera to be able to see. She's just had a gloss coat and she's been decaled, and she needs gloss coating again, a wash, matte coat, and that's the actual aircraft done. It's quite hard to fit it in, so if I go try and get it in the back shot, we'll get a full shot as she flies past. So there we go, all assembled. All we're missing is the end wing pylons, but once like I say, once you get a wash on it, get it matted down, we done mask that canopy and it's all done. A bit of a problem with the decals, they silvered like hell, even though it was gloss coated. All the big ones silvered, loads of little ones did, some of them still are. I've spent days and days and days putting tiny pinpricks in each decal. I mean, the likes of this one, that decal is that big, that isn't hollow, that's a whole decal. So I had to sit here, put tiny little holes in with a craft knife, then getting the micro set and sol solution on top to try and get it under the decal to get rid of the silvering. It's got rid of probably 80% of it because they were shocking when they first went down. I don't know if it's you're going to be able to catch any on camera at all. The likes of this one here, absolute nightmare if you can see that catching. Like I say, it's a lot better than it was, but they're not perfect. Tamiya decals can be hit and miss. Let's get the side as well. The tail can be hit and miss. A bit of the faded paintwork there, a bit of mottling on there to give it that faded look. It'll look much better. Sorry, it'll look much better once the matte coat's down. But it turned out well. Good looking aircraft. I do like the F16. And the other day I had some work going on the house, electricians, so I sat in here Did all the decals and also put the belts on the ejector seat, but you can see them there, all photo etch, shoulder harnesses and masking tape from the kit, and they work really well, very well indeed. So she's looking well. I'll be glad to get her all painted up and done. Once this is done, I've then got to move on to the ordnance. Then we've got the little bits like the wheel chocks, the ladder. I think there's a pilot figure as well. So you know, you can display it with all the panels open. This opens up, the Gatling guns in there, the M62, is it what it's called? I don't know what it's called now. M602, something like that. You can display all the panels open, the cockpit open, the nose opens to show the radar, like a bit stiff because she's glossed, like so, and there's the nose mounted radar in there. So you know, it's a lot of options. So I'm going to have a few pictures of it on its display base, which I've got built for the MiG, and then I'll open it all up with everything on display as well. So I'm quite happy with those belts. I was dreading doing them for quite some time, but they turned out quite well in the end, so quite happy with that. So this will be done very soon. Sadly, this time of the month everything comes to a halt while we're sorting the news show out, because we have several videos to do each and edit and sort out and whatnot. Next one is the F-15, the video build. This is where we got to in part 3. So all the cockpit's done. I'll show it all in a minute. We've got the fuselage in. It's quite a tight fit. It's going to need a little bit of manipulation the way it fits together. But it turned out well. If I zoom in a little bit, you can have a look. So all the cockpit's been weathered, dry brushed. The seats have had a wash on them. Cockpit displays are in there. They've had a clear coat and what have you. For 148 cockpit, a kit cockpit, it's actually quite nice. Turned out quite well. A bit of UMP wash on the control consoles, etc. So I'm quite happy with that. Quite an unusual way it fits together. There's two lugs. One side's unbelievably tight. I can't even get it to open up. See, I told you tonight. One side's really tight and the other side's not tight. So what you need to do, I'll zoom out again. I was saying this last time in the last video, is you've got to really push them in one side, and you've got to try and get the other side in as well, or you're left with a slight gap. So I'm in two minds whether to actually cut these off so they fit in better, because when I push it in this side I can't get it in as far as I can on the other, and what you're left with is that. So even when you clamp it up, you're still left with gaps. Now I don't know what to do. I'll come to it in the next video. I don't want to do it off camera because I want to show you guys you're doing it. This front one's going to be interesting as well, because you've got some nice fine panel lines there, and they're going to be an absolute pig to put back, but it's got to be done. So that's the way it is. So that's the F-15. So there'll be another part of that up next week, hopefully. Next one is something I started, don't know, a few weeks back, and it's just, I couldn't put it down. The Challenger 2 buddy build on ISM with myself, Cohen, Nigel Wells, Easy896, Devon, I think Craig's going to be joining us, and there's somebody else, I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, and Chief's joined us as well. I built this in about 2 days. It was painted up, and I've had to literally put it to one side to stop me building it. All sprayed into green, a closest match to NATO green, British NATO green I could find, ready for its black camouflage pattern to be applied. So it's an in-service vehicle. Cohen keeps calling it a motorpool queen. Kind of. We've got Bovington Tank Museum down south in the UK, where these are on display all the time. Normally the Royal Tank Regiments. So it is an active unit, but they're not actively, you know, armed tanks as such. So I got this on the go, ready for its camo, weather it up and what have you. Looking well. Not a bad kit. Not as great as it looked. It's an older trumpeter kit. It's a 2002 kit. Quite a bit of fit issues, especially this barrel. The barrel's in like 6 pieces, and you've got to glue them all, sand them, get rid of all the seams. That's quite a bit of work. Also a few fit issues here and there on the kit, but overall it's not a bad kit at all, to be fair. I've enjoyed it, really enjoyed building it. So there's that, and the other part of this is the figures. I bought some resin figures from Accurate Armour. Started painting them up yesterday. So we got green overalls. They're not in DPM. I know Chief did say about them being in DPM. The overalls, so going to be green. I'm going to hide in a lighter shade of this green. These are the coat of green. I'll do a highlight in the lighter colour, and then I wash to bring out all the recesses and depths. Got the skin to put on still, the goggles and the helmet. All the marks, I think it's a Mark 6 helmet this. All the ones I've seen in the pictures are always darker than the overalls or the DPM, so I mixed a bit of black into it and darkened it up. Obviously still got the cover up, sorry, the goggles to do and the skin tones, but we'll do those last. And this guy will probably have gloves on. So that's one of the, I'm going to call him my gunner. The way I've done his arms, he's resting on the GPMG. On the turret, if you've seen the pictures on ISM, so he sits on the left hand side as you look behind the tank. Got the commander, who got a bit green on his face where I've not been that neat with the painting. But they're nicely detailed figures. Goggles are good on this one, obviously ignore the paint, because that'll be going once he's painted up, but very, very nice figures. Nice facial expression on that guy, he's going to look good. And then the driver, who isn't the best. Obviously you only see this part of the guy, he's literally sticking up through there, and I can turn that a little bit so you can see, which I closed up first time round and then reopened it the other day, so it needs spraying up. He sits out there. Sadly his goggles are a little bit off. It looks like someone's given him a slap, because the smaller one side to the other, but again we'll get the best. And he's also got something around his face like a piece of cloth, so there's not much skin on this guy. They've all got the earpiece attachments on, sorry. So I'm going to put a little bit of wire, a little bit of mic boom coming in to add a bit of detail. But I've enjoyed building this. Like I say, I literally had to put it to one side to stop me building the bloody thing, because I joined a buddy build, kind of, you know, take over a little bit on the forum of it, and then finish where everybody else has even barely got started. So literally what to do, just paint it up, put it on the shelf, and it keeps calling at me to build it. But I'm going to put the cam on it sometime next week or the week after, and then we'll get some weathering done on it as well. There you go, so they're all my builds. So one completed, 3 in progress, loads in the stash to get going on. We've got some interesting builds over the next few months, so looking forward to that. And that's it, so thanks for looking. I'll take you back to Lee, and I'll see you guys on the forum.
Alright, thanks for that, Paul. It's great to see you cracking on through those builds. I wish I had Paul's time, I really do, to get on the bench and get as much done, but I mean, life gets in the way for me quite often, unfortunately. But what we're going to do now, we're going to go on to see what we're going to review this month. Now, Paul, as he said in the video there, is going to do the Hobby Boss A6A Intruder, which is the prize this month. And he's also going to do the Dragon 135 Black Label M103A1, which I'm really looking forward to. That's not out for another month yet. Paul's got his grubby little mitts on it a bit early, so it'll be really interesting to see that kit. I'm really looking forward to that one, because I may consider getting that one myself. I do like the M103. Now my ones, obviously, I've been saying I'm going to do them for the next the last couple of months, but it's going to be the Beechcraft Staggerwing from Rodin, the Dornier Do from Italeri, and the limited edition Centenarians from Eduard. I'm also going to do a review on this, which is something I bought from Value Kits, very, very cheaply, I might add. This is the Dragon Nashorn. It's a premium edition. I have had a look in the box, I haven't looked through it. I've opened the box and gone, oh wow, really excited about that one. So we should do that review as well this month. That will probably be a long one. There's a lot of plastic in there, and I've never built a Dragon kit either, so I'm really looking forward to that. But now we're just going to have a quick thank you to all our sponsors. Obviously, we've got S&M stuff, who sponsor all our SiGs. Thank you very much, Sean. It's great to have you on board, mate, and we are really thankful of your ongoing support and everything. We've got John and Mandy at Models Are Go. Thank you, guys. Again, they've sponsored our GBs. Without them, we wouldn't have these cracking prizes we've got back here. I want to thank Dominic at Retro Kit for sponsoring our Easter egg plane builds, group build plane Easter egg. Easter egg plane build. So thank you for that. Some cracking prizes for a 4-week group build as well. I want to thank you, Tim at Value Kits, for sponsoring our new sponsor for our monthly giveaways. Okay, they're going to be great kits every month. You know, they really are. You really got to go and check them out, because their prices are just absurd, really. I've got to say, absurd. They really are cheap. And they've just started doing alclad paints now as well. And obviously to ourselves, Ultimate Modern Products, for obviously sponsoring monthly draws and things like that as well. And but I think that's pretty much it for this month. It's not as long as it usually is, but I hope you like the content, and until next month, take care. Bye bye.